Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm your host, Mikey, and as always, riding shotgun with me, my boy Tommy. What's going on, brother? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday, Bills Mafia. Man, oh man, it is Bills Dolphins rivalry week, Mikey. And, you know, I hate the Dolphins. So these games I'm always hyped for, no matter what, man. It just brings back so much memories, Mikey, growing up, especially for me in South Florida. Man, I couldn't stand the damn Dolphins. But before we get going, guys, everybody, we want to play a little quick video, not too quick, about 5 minutes long, but it's a little nice build up to this game, the little rivalry, a little history of the Bills, Dolphins. And here we go. I'm going to get that going now.
One would be hard-pressed to find two cities more opposite. Lifestyles more different. Or a rivalry more intense.
It's one of the best ones in the game right now. I think it definitely compares with the Bears and the Packers and all the other rivalries. We hate each other. I think that's the bottom line.
Hatred. It's a very competitive fire, you know. A lot of our guys don't like some of their guys, and a lot of their guys don't like us. But, you know, it's just a competitive game each time we play.
I have a few friends on the Dolphins, and if you throw a couple of those out, it'd be one where I wish I was playing linebacker and playing against a guy I dislike because I'd like to smash mouth him too. And I'm sure they feel the same way.
First game I played in was a Buffalo game, and we had a great game, and everybody was so intense because of the rivalry between the two. And you can just feel it in the atmosphere when you're out there playing. These guys don't like each other, and it's just intensity because they are probably the two best teams in the AFC.
About repercussions that's going to be bulletin board material for the next time you have to play the Bills?
Well, you know, I'm hoping that they look at it like that, take it that way, you know, and get a little offended and a little pissed off about it because, you know, that just makes me play harder. We killed the Buffaloes, you know what I'm saying? We shot them in the head and wiped them off the prairie.
The Dolphins' favorite Christmas carol. Beat the hell out of the Bills.
From our standpoint, we don't want anybody else to do our dirty work. If somebody's going to do it, we want to do it. So I guess that's the standpoint that we took about his T-shirts. He needs to take care of his own business. If anybody's going to beat us, I mean, I let them go ahead and try and do it.
When I do talk trash, I can back it up. So, you know, I don't worry about it.
I just look at it this way. They're going to be guys that talk. The only thing is, when he opens his mouth, you just insert your foot.
We're trying to take something away from them that they want, and they've been there before, and they're trying to take something away from us, you know, get into the Super Bowl. So I guess that's where you get in the situation where they don't like us because we can take something away from them.
Would it be tougher to lose to the Dolphins more so than it would be to Pittsburgh or Houston?
without a doubt. I say that just like I did because I mean it. This is one where I think everybody in this football team, you ask each individual, and they'd say they'd rather lose to any other team except the Dolphins.
There's nothing like the heated Bills-Dolphins rivalry to bring out the best in Buffalo fans. Not all fans, however, fit the Bills' macho stereotype.
True blue Bills fan, all the way, Buffalo. We'll kill the Dolphins. Squish those fish.
I got a nice big old fish here. We're going to stick it on the grill and smoke it. We're going to smoke it. It's going to burn.
On this gloomy day, Bills followers had other fish to fry, for their focus was fixed on Dolphin linebacker Brian Cox, who all week had been denigrating the good citizens of Western New York. His trash talking was designed to give his teammates an emotional edge, as well as bait the home crowd.
Keep yakking while you're on your back.
Were you just kidding what you said about Buffalo, city of Buffalo?
Hell no. Hell no. That ain't gonna change. Even when I die, that's not gonna change. And I don't kid about stuff like that. I'm a man. And I say what I feel.
Ready to go. Shit, it's time to go out there to play against the Dolphins. We gotta go out there and go shit. Really true, we're gonna beat their ass. Point blank play, period.
Here's Landry. And he's in. Touchdown, Miami. And now extracurricular in the flag slot.
Landry went in there late, and it looked like he headbutted one of the Buffalo Bills.
Leonard Johnson and Landry mixed it up 2 weeks ago with Buffalo a bunch, both involved in this skirmish.
Sean McDermott's out on the field trying to get his players to separate.
Kenyon Drake just threw a Bills helmet across the field.
We'll get back to Orchard Park, New York. Here's Josh Allen, a 3rd and 9. Scrambling. Almost. Tico Alonso comes in a little bit late.
Why is everybody fighting? He didn't even touch him. Oh, he tried to. That's
extracurricular activity doesn't bother me because they won't see each other until next.
Suffered some type of an injury on this play. We have Teddy Bridgewater in the game right now. Tunga Bailoa, oh boy, getting up. Oh my goodness, that's an awful, awful sight to see. They will take him to the sideline.
It's not going to be any picnic, brother. It's going to be a war.
So that was it, man. That man, Mikey. I remember those days of Brian Cox flicking us off in Buffalo. Oh my God, man. It gets me hyped every time. We hated them. They hated us. And it's starting to rebuild, man, because that rivalry kind of got lost. In the 2000s when the Patriots ran the division, and it's brewing again. It is definitely brewing again. I think we all saw this coming the last couple of years when Miami was starting to build up, Mikey, and they're good, and we are damn good too. And I think a lot of people are forgetting how good we are, and all the focus right now is on Miami, and they're just forgetting what we built here. So, anyways, I just thought it was a good video to show, get a little hyped up, guys, especially for the old timers that were watching Buffalo way back when, at least in the 80s, 90s. That just takes a little bit back of history, man.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. At the end of the day, that history, man, makes me feel old. I'm not gonna lie,
dude. I know.
Being a young Dan Marino and a young Jim Kelly, I remember that. I have a feeling that it's gonna get chippy. These teams don't like each other. They don't. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Wilkins and Allen are playing all nice right now, but come game time, it's not going to be nice. And Wilkins has had the better of our interior guys recently. Josh has got new protection up front, so that's going to play a big difference this week too. Got Cybo and McGovern now, man in the guards. That's a big difference.
Oh yeah, listen. The one thing is, the Dolphin fans are like, oh, this is a different team. We're different too in a lot of areas. Offensive line for this Buffalo Bills team is way different than it was last season. They're not going to be getting to Josh Allen like they were last season. Also, our run game is significantly better than it was last season as well. So, and our defense, which is the biggest X factor compared to last season. Way more aggressive than it was. And let's just add in Trey White being back.
Micah Hyde being back.
Micah Hyde being back. Now, we are without Vaughn, but we do have a guy called Leonard Floyd. So, yeah, we are a little different than what they saw last year defensively, but we'll get into all that soon.
And I think the biggest change is the guy that's man in the middle. It's the guy who won the Defensive Player of the Week award last week, and Bernard.
Yeah.
If the dude goes out and balls out like he did the last 2 weeks,
it
changes our defense. We're so much faster now.
Yep. Yeah, we know. We're actually, you know what, Mikey? Go ahead and get to your news so we can get all that.
Yeah. Okay.
Stuff.
So let's get to the news. Mike Williams tore his ACL last week. Poor guy. Well, I hope he comes back soon. That sucks.
Injuries suck, man.
They
do, man. I don't wish that upon anyone. I've been hearing a lot of a couple comments about Tua, like, oh, we're gonna get to him. He's gonna get hurt. Like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like bring your best. Let our best beat your best. But yeah, I feel for players, man, because that's their livelihood. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that sucks.
Yeah. The odd situation with Chandler Jones in Vegas. They locked him out of
dude.
They locked him out, and then he got sent for behavioral health, and then now he got arrested.
Oh, did he? I didn't even hear that. When was this? Today?
Today he got arrested.
Oh my God! For what?
No.
A
protection order for domestic violence.
So it seems like he is like the new Antonio Brown of the NFL. He is Antonio Brown 2.0. It seems like that. And I gotta say, it could be, man, just same with Brown. They need to check these guys out. Maybe it's something upstairs just ain't right. You know what I mean? Clearly, because the guy was normal, just like, and to be fair too, Antonio Brown for the most part of his career was a normal, like he never really didn't act that way. But towards the end, especially with the was it Burfict that hit him for the Bengals, it kind of did something there. It's kind of when he kind of went off the rail. Now I don't know about Chandler Jones, but everyone's different. So I don't know what's going on there, Mikey, but it sucks for the Raiders because they paid him a lot of money, man.
Yeah, it's not only that, but he lives out there with his brother, Johnny Bones, who
and he's not always right either.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. He's not always all there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, something with the head, man. I think something.
I don't know what's going on either, but I hope he gets whatever.
That's twice now, by the way, the Raiders, because they dealt with that with the Brown thing. Remember?
Yeah.
Brown a lot, and then it didn't work out.
It's just the Raiders. They had the same problem with Randy Moss, and then he left them, and he was fine in New England.
Yeah.
Everyone thought Randy Moss had lost his mind.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy, bro.
The Raiders is where you go to die.
Thank God we haven't really had that issue. Now we have had players retire on us.
Yeah,
but no craziness like what's going on over in the Raiders.
Yeah, Davey did have a couple concussions down. He got smashed over the middle.
Oh, dude, big time.
Yeah, big time. So then Tyler Bass, Special Teams Player of the Week.
Yeah,
Bernard,
Bass money, baby.
Yep. Bernard, Defensive Player of the Week, as expected with the game.
Yeah, well deserved. Yeah.
And then injuries starting them out.
By the way, sorry to cut you off. Shit, easy. If he continues to play, he's going to get AFC Player of the Month, Defensive Player of the Month. If he continues this way, forget the week. Could be the month.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Bill's going to murder the fence. Squish the fish of the month, Bass. Yeah, Bass, too. Bass could get Player of the Month, too. He keeps hitting those bombs.
That is true. Yeah, he's 7 for 7.
Yep. And then the last one is the injuries are starting to mount up with teams. Obviously in Cleveland, you had Chubb go down, which doesn't sound like it was as bad as they originally thought, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's great news for him.
Yep. Deshaun Watson now is banged up. He may miss this week. The Chargers, we just talked about Mike Williams, but Eckler's out and a bunch of guys are out. San Francisco now has their whole wide receiver core is beat up. It sounds like Ayuk's going to play. Yeah. Sounds like Ayuk's going to play, but it looks like Samuels and Jennings probably won't. So you're starting to see these things mount up. with different teams. You just hope you stay healthy.
Speaking of injuries, did you see the Von Miller video he put out on his channel about the surgery and all that?
No, I didn't watch it. Trigg said he won the Special Teams Player of the Month.
Oh, Bastard. Yeah, I'm talking about Bernardo. Okay, that's good. But no, so Von Miller put out a video yesterday, I believe it was, about it was basically the whole breakdown of what happened with the ACL.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically cameras followed him to the doctors where they were getting the second opinion. And it was interesting, man, because the guy was like, hey, like Von's like, I want to play, but let's just, go in there. And basically they went in there. The doc's like, hey, man, we're going to go in there. But if it's not right, you're going to wake up and you're going to know we did surgery or you're not. So he woke up and he knew he had surgery done because his leg was hurting. But it was a good video. It was interesting. And then he got on the phone with Brandon Beane. But yeah, man, crazy, man. Crazy how one play can just take you out for the whole season, man. One play, bro.
That's football, man.
I saw the Poyer injury too, and it wasn't that bad, but he definitely it was the Commanders game.
What happened?
And it was a running play. They ran the ball. I think it was Robinson. I could be wrong on the running back, but and they went to all tackle him. It was kind of they were like stand-up tackle, kind of like where the refs have to come and like blowing a whistle. And I think somebody fell and it hyperextended his knee backwards a little bit. And then you can kind of see him like gingerly, like, you know what I mean? Like limping a little bit. So definitely that was it.
So did that happen towards the end of the game? So we were able to pull him out?
I'm not really sure where.
Okay.
Yeah, but they showed it on Banged Up Bills Kyle. Showed it.
Yeah, apparently it's to do with meniscus. Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me, but that's okay. It's the reason why we signed Taylor Rapp. This is exactly why we signed Taylor Rapp. Come in, and this will tell us, is Taylor Rapp going to be a fit for our scheme next year to resign if we need him to? You know what I mean? And it's going to give our boy DeMar a jersey, which will be nice. To get him out on the field at home, makes his debut, which will be super cool.
So I want to actually show you real quick since I have it, guys. So in case you guys didn't see it, so this way you can kind of get the perspective of what happened there. So if you look right at the end of the play,
I did see it.
See it, and now you'll watch him walk away. You'll see him see him stretch it right there. See him kind of go at it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a player kind of fell into him there, right there. See, and then he was. So that's what happened there, guys, on that one.
That sucks.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like a little stupid play like that, guys, could basically almost take a guy out.
Yeah. Jessica comes in, says if Rapp plays well, it could, he could be his job moving forward. I don't know if they would really take it from him this season, but I do think if Rapp plays well, we will resign him in the offseason, and he will be the new starting safety moving forward. I think their hope, I think the Bills' true hope is it's going to be DeMar and Rapp as our safeties moving forward after this season.
Yeah. I think that's where the direction's going because even to start the season, I felt like Poyer's been a little off. Just a little bit, and Micah Hyde a little bit too, but they're still damn good. That's no knock on them, but age is probably creeping up. It is what it is. But I got to see a little bit here more. I want to see more of Rapp in this game. Now he has the opportunity, and I definitely want to see how him and Hyde communicate because I think like he can handle the job. It's just can he handle the communication part? You know what I mean? Because he hasn't really played with Hyde much, right? It's just really been off-season stuff, so this will be it's a big test, man. Big test to see if those guys can communicate during the game.
And to answer Spin's question, Poyer is signed through next season. Hyde, this is his last season. But Poyer has an out after this season as Bean, because he signed a 2-year extension with an out after one, as Bean signs all his guys like that. So
right.
And Rapp is a hitter. That's why I think Rapp's actually a better in the Poyer position than he would be in the Hyde position because he is more of a hitter.
Right. Correct. But he also needs to be careful. I mean, he got that penalty last week against Commanders. I mean, sorry, the week before against the Raiders on Adams.
Smashed him.
You also don't want to, get many of those either.
Yeah, Triggs, that's exactly what it is. Poyer signed the 2-year deal, but they have an out. They can bring him back next year, or they can get out of it after the end of this year. It's really going to be depending on how they look at the end of the year. Does he still look like – because he has not looked great early. I thought he looked really good in the last game against some Commanders. I thought that was his best game so far. So – That's one thing. Let me share my screen. So since we're already talking injuries, let's go ahead and just go through the whole injury report.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the Dolphins, let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. So you guys can see. Jalen Phillips is out. Oblique, which is actually a big loss for them because he's their best pass rusher.
Yeah.
It's a really big loss for them. And then they have 4 questionables, Connor Williams and Armstead. Armstead's always questionable, but he always plays. It's just...
Yeah, he's a tough dude, man. He's just one of those players. I feel bad, though, for Phillips, man. He's always seems like he's hurt, man. And he's a hell of a player. When healthy, he's the real deal, man. He is fast. He brings it. So that is a big deal, in this game, not having them for that pass rush.
Yep. And then Connor Williams is a really big one for them too, low key, because their backup center is Eichenberg, who's never snapped until last week, and it wasn't pretty. I believe he's going to try to give it a go, but it's a growing injury, and you know how easy those are to re-aggravate in games, especially in the trenches.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see. And then Deshaun Elliott, one of their safeties. We'll see how it is. Like, I think Armstead is going to play. He always plays.
Yeah.
The other 3 are all like growing injuries and stuff. So it's like
limited
soft tissue injuries are rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are tough.
Usually when they're limited or full, though, they'll wind up playing.
Yeah. But none of them were I know Armstead's going to play because he plays through everything. And, Williams will probably give it a go. I don't know much about the other 2.
Right.
So, and then from a Bill standpoint, we're all playing. Everyone's full practice, except for Poyer, who's out, obviously.
Correct.
And we'll see how long that keeps him out for. Knowing that we have a road trip overseas,
London. Yep.
Next, we may not be taking him with us because that's just going to make that knee swell more. That pressure.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, listen, if Rapp does his job, there's no reason to rush him back. Kind of like Von Miller. Same thing that we're talking about Von Miller. No reason to rush him back week 1. Like, he said he was ready to play, but he understood that he wasn't in football game shape. He needed a little bit more time. And Leonard Floyd filled that spot, is handling that spot as best as he can. And let's just see if Rapp can do the same. We only need him for a week. You know what I mean? And, week or 2. I want a healthy team going down the stretch. You know what I mean? No reason to rush these guys back if we don't need them. That's what we got depth for.
Yeah. Well, we don't need Poyer for the Jags. We want Poyer when he comes back because we want him to shake off all the rust and be ready to go for the playoffs. Ultimately, that's what the regular season is what it is. We just need to get in the tournament and then have all our guys ready to go for the playoffs because that's the main thing.
Yeah.
If we lose on Sunday, Vaughn better be playing in London. Well, it depends on how we lose. Do we lose because of the offense or do we lose because of the defense?
Right. Exactly.
So I think that's a big.
I just don't think Vaughn. Yeah, I think honestly though, like I was thinking about this the other day, Mikey. Like maybe Vaughn does play. I don't. Obviously, I'm not him, but maybe he does wind up going. You know what? I'll go. I do want to get a little bit of reps in. Limit me on a snap count. You know what I mean? You never know. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I still think you're going to see him week 6. But if he's ready and the coach feels like he's ready on a limited, because they did that with Trey. They did that with Trey Thanksgiving, I think it was, right? Where they limited him. That was his first game back. You didn't see a lot of game action that game, but you saw as the next game went on, he had more snap count, and then obviously he was starting full time. But maybe you never know. Maybe they wind up giving them very, very limited snap count in London, and then come back and play the Giants and give them some more time. You know?
I think it's going to come down to what he wants, because he said he thought he was ready to go to start this season, and Bean's like, no, let's just take it slow.
Exactly.
Make sure
That's
you're
why
ready
I'm thinking
he might be. I personally would still wait until week 6. Don't mess with that. You know,
I agree.
That trip, you know, you take him with you if you want, but you know, playing and then coming back, you know, could mess with him. But you know, it's his body. He knows it better than anybody. So if he says he's ready to go, you know, unleash the beast. Jose comes in and says, guys, I've seen a stat from Vegas, a team that scored 60 or more the following week, they're 1-6. I've seen those stats, but you can take any kind of stat and turn it into flip a narrative. It's going to come down to how do we play at the end of the day. Like everyone is, you know, it's what they last saw. Just like with Buffalo going into the year, everyone's like, oh, Buffalo's lost it. Well, Buffalo lost it because the last thing they saw was, you know, the Bills against the Bengals, and we just didn't play well. You know, it's what you've done for you lately. Like week 1, it was a 35. They scored 35 points against the Chargers, and a shootout back and forth.
Right. So
and then week 2 they scored 24. Then week 3 they ran into a very bad Broncos team and dropped 70. They had 26 missed tackles.
Bro, I watched that game at my bar, like the recap, because I don't watch no damn Dolphin game. So, but I was forced to because it was playing, you know. And oh my god, like how pathetic! Like Mikey, those defenders were not. It didn't even seem like you were trying, bro. Like that was the most pathetic football I've ever seen from an opposing team. Like, bro, even as bad as we once were in the 2000s, we still weren't that pathetic. Like at least we were giving it a go. You know what I mean? Like trying. Like that team just seemed like they just went out there and just said, we're not going to win. Like who can? Like nothing. And the coaches, nothing. It's just terrible. So yeah, listen, they got another thing coming if they think they're going to come to Buffalo and then we're just going to lay down like that. It's not going to work that way. We're a different built team. But I got to say too, look at week 2 when the Dolphins played the Patriots. They struggled. They struggled in the second half. Scored 7 points going against a way better defense. So yes, they're not as great as you think. They can be slowed down if you play the right defense. The only problem with the Patriots is they had no offense. They could have won the game. Yeah. They had a chance, but they just have no offense. And that's the difference between us and the Patriots is we have an offense, and I believe our defense is better than the Patriots defense. So it's going to be a hell of a game. And I just cannot wait, Mikey. I cannot wait.
Neither can I. Triggs comes in and says, look at Vic Fangio's defense has struggled with play action and empty sets. 2 things the Bills are great at. Vic Fangio, listen, they are adjusting their scheme, and they're struggling to learn it. Like it's not that great of a, you know, they're not playing great at all.
No, I think they're 21st right now in defense. They're their stats are not good. I think they're averaging. I think they're giving up 20-something points a game. And Buffalo's giving up 11 point something a game, first in the league. By the way, we're second in the league in points again. For everyone that's not liking Dorsey, including us, that we've been a little rough on Dorsey. By the way, we heard all your comments the last 2 or 3 days that were negative and we're Debbie Downers. That's not the case. We are just pointing out things we would like Dorsey to do better because we know we can. We've seen him call, but games better. What he can do to get this team better. That's all. It wasn't about being negative or anything like that. But
I don't want us to be. Listen, we came out hot early last year, and we tailed off down the stretch. I would much rather us start slow and then have us build up to playing our best ball at the end of the year. I'm okay with that. That's the way we're going to go. So I'm just pointing out things I'd like to see better. And as Sean says here, I love being slept on. I do too.
Oh, yeah.
Keep talking about the Dolphins. Keep on. Let the Bills be under the radar.
I've gotten a couple Dolphin guys comment me on my latest video, and I'm like, the thing, Mike, I don't like, I'm terrible at trash talk. I just don't do it. I don't like it. But I'm like, listen, I can give you some facts. I told the guy, I'm like, the facts are we've beaten you guys 10 out of 12 times since 2017. The facts are we've run this division the last 3 seasons. Those are facts. I'm not talking trash. We finished season strong each one of those times that we won the last 3 seasons. You have not. You haven't proven anything. And that's the whole point. Like, so I'm not talking trash. Like, I'm not going to debate with somebody as just talking trash. It's just so funny to me. Like, that all of a sudden they do a good game, right? And they're the best thing. And it's like, you guys been down this road before and you saw what happened. Like, relax, calm down. You're playing a team that's been together for a long time now, Mikey, this Buffalo Bills team. We're not a new team. We're not hyped up. We're a good fucking team. Like, we've been built the right way. Like, we're not an easy out. So it's just funny to me, man. So I just cannot wait. But once again, I will say this, though. Win or lose for either team, it's way early in the season. Yeah. And I'll go back to last season when we lost week 3. And look how that season turned out. They won 9 games. We won 13. We beat them 2 out of 3 times in the playoffs at the end of the year. Just saying. So it's a long season, win or lose. This early on doesn't, honestly, it's a little bragging rights, but ultimately means nothing. It's how you finish the season. And we've proven, Mikey, and you know this, that we've proven that to everyone that we can finish strong. We've always have. Yeah. Winning 4 straight, 5 straight to take the division the last 3 seasons.
As Spence says, we finished last year on the longest win streak going into the postseason. Yeah, I do agree with that. Our offense wasn't clicking though down the stretch.
It wasn't, but we were still winning.
We were still winning. It just
That's
wasn't.
The point. We found a way, even though it was shitty offense. Right? We were kind of not shitty, but we were a little bit.
It wasn't shitty. Here's the thing. I think we got spoiled in 2021 with how hot we got at the end. Everything was clicking.
Yeah,
at the end of 2021. So when
which was weird because I think we only won 10 games that year. Was it in 2021? Remember?
Yeah,
that was the year we started really
slow,
and then we really went bad for a minute
in the middle of the season.
It was that Bucks game.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "Oh, it's it. Bills are terrible. It's it." Remember? And then I'm like, I don't know, Mikey. I saw something there, and we went on that streak, man, and went into the playoffs with that really hot, man. Blew the Patriots out. I loved it, man. That was. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
But I think that is why everyone was so down on the Bills' offense last year, because we saw how good the ceiling of what they could be,
turnover,
and they weren't consistently playing great ball, and we haven't played. We played good ball. On the offense, sporadically, in quarters, and we put up a bunch of points in quarters, but it hasn't been consistent. It doesn't need to be consistent today. It needs to be consistent once we hit the playoffs. Just get us enough points to get us through the games and get W's. That's what. Because
I still don't think it's right. Like, I still think either Dorsey's still trying to find out everyone's job, like what they're capable of doing or where to place them in the offense. You know what I mean? Like, I still kind of feel like I'm guessing, okay, we've tried this with Hardy. It's not working. Like I'm almost thinking that's what he's doing. Like, Sherfield's here, and it's going to maybe take some time while the season goes on. And we're all hoping that it finally clicks and he goes, okay, Hardy's good at this. Sherfield's perfect here. Here's what I like, blah, blah, blah. And then the offense gets going from there. But there is things, and that's why everyone's like Debbie Down. There's things that he can do until then, like putting Josh under center more. Like, that has nothing to do with your personnel. That is just play calling. Like, put him under center. It helps with the play action pass. Get our different running backs with Murray and Harris involved early. Like, stuff like that. I don't think that's like a hard thing to do, but he seems to struggle still with that, like seeing things that everybody else sees. And Dable is the same way. It's almost like they're the same. Like they're just like, man, stuck on what they want to do, even though everyone else says, well, why don't you try this? Because it seems to work better. And that's the reason I think me and you get a little frustrated at times.
Yeah. Well, let's hope what he says in the press conference recently, and someone said it in the chat. You know, he came out and said, "I realize that play action needs to be a bigger part of this offense." He sees how well it works.
Yes,
so
100%.
let's do it. Sean comes in and says, "When will we use Kincaid like the Lions use Laporta?" I don't know. That's a great question. The Lions don't have the skill players the Bills have either, though. We they will once the rest of the receivers come back from suspension, but right now they don't. So it's Laporta, it's St. Brown, and it's a running game. That's it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Also, I think, Ben Johnson, who's one of the up and coming, offensive minds. I love Dorsey, but I have, like I said in the past, I have yet to see him be a genius play caller or offensive mind. I think he can be. I just haven't seen
What did you think about Joe Marino's comments about, okay, so you get rid of Dorsey, who are you bringing? Like, go around the league and tell me, like, remember he said something about, like, who's the better coordinator? Like, go ahead and pick different teams like coordinators and say, hey, he's better. Like, they're doing a better job. Because he was saying basically his debate was, if we were to focus on every team, pretty much, like, we could, I think as fans, we can go, man, what is he doing? What is he doing? I can't believe he called that. Like, we'll all find something to bitch about. And he's saying, like, you know what I mean? Like,
he has a point. We dissect the Bills like we don't dissect any other team.
Correct.
I'll tell you, I was watching the Thursday night game last night, and I dissected the Lions kind of how I would the Bills. I don't think they use their top pick well enough. They gave a guy who just came back from an injury 30 carries. I don't think they use St. Brown well enough. There's a lot of those. I can nitpick at anything that they do.
That's what I'm saying. Right?
I did like Ben Johnson's creative play calling, though.
Right.
You saw motion. You saw misdirections. You saw him under center. Like the issues that I have isn't so much saying I want to get rid of Dorsey. I just want him to tweak how he's doing things. And maybe he won't. Maybe that's just who he is. Maybe it's what Josh likes and we just don't know it. So he's going with what his quarterback's most comfortable with. Maybe it has nothing to do with Dorsey at all. Yeah. I'm just looking at it from the outside in and giving my opinion. Is there better offensive coordinators in this league than him? Absolutely.
Of course. More
is he doing bad? No, he's not.
Once again,
we have the number 2 offense in the league. Like, I just want us to be more consistent.
Right. That is the weirdest part, right, of this whole conversation is we were upset with him in a way, but yet we're number 2 again so far. Now it's early in offense. So it's like, I think that's where people are like, what's going on here with these guys, Debbie Downers? How can you be when you're the number? There's 32 teams and we're sitting there second. We could be the 29th ranked. By the way, the Giants offense, pitiful. I'm just saying. I know they don't got the talent we do, but I'm just saying they're not playing very good ball.
It's not even that.
And
I don't look at Daniel Jones as even close to what Josh Allen was, even in his rookie year.
You know that. We know that.
But even rookie year, Josh Allen is better than what Daniel Jones is today.
Yeah. They're close.
And that's who they decided to pay. That's who they linked.
But that's on them. That's on their
Dayball and Shane.
Right. They were comfortable with it. I mean,
I'll tell you, if I was a Giants fan, you thought I'm negative now.
Oh, dude.
Because it's ugly there.
I mean, what do you think of what's going on? Think about this. I don't even watch, obviously, I don't watch any other team for the most part, except when when we're going to go play them, I'll watch some film. But the Bengals, imagine being a Bengals fan right now. Right. And I'm not watching Bengals, but I would be like, we're sitting here going, imagine you're the Bengals and you're putting up 6 points, 9 points. Like you're just struggling to get anything going, and you got weapons galore. It's not like they're the Giants, right? And we're just talking. Now we just jump ship to a high-powered offense with freaking very good receiving core, good running back, very good quarterback to great quarterback, offensive line. But either way, what is going on? So imagine you would be freaking out.
Yeah, and I do agree. You have tier 1 receivers, you have tier 1 quarterback, you have tier probably 2 running back.
I agree with that.
You know, on offense, and you're struggling. But if I was a Bengals fan, I'd be like, why the hell is Joe Burrow playing right now? I'd be worried that calf strain's going to turn into an Achilles injury.
I think that's on everybody. I think that's on Burrow.
I
think that's on Burrow, and I think that's on the coaching. So but it's like a boxer, right? Like a boxer never wants to boxer's going to go in there, get beat up, right? Let's say he's getting beat up. It's up to the corner to say, hey, you had enough, right? Maybe the coaching staff needs to just pull Burrow and say, hey, I know you want to be out there, but you're hurting the team more than you're helping the team right now. They should have done that from the beginning. Week 1, held him out for 2-3 weeks. See, maybe they go one. Who cares? What's the difference? They got one win anyways. At this point, so I just think they just rushed him out there, and they're probably aggravating it more than anything. So that's on them. That's not on us. But I sure the hell hope that our coaching staff never does that to Allen.
Right.
Like if he's hurt, he's hurt. Don't, and listen, I understand last year with the elbow thing. I get that. But at the same time, it was going down a stretch where we needed him to play. It was down the main stretch.
And this last week he had to. If they went 0-3,
it wasn't the start of the season, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that was towards the tail end of the season. We take Josh Allen at that point. Who knows how that season goes at the end? Like we need, unfortunately that I don't mind so much.
Well, it also didn't impact him as much. It also didn't impact the play. We still scored points with him.
That's true. Yeah, no
doubt.
To
to where he can't run around and get away. The thing that makes Joe Burrow so dangerous is the way he moves in the pocket. If he can't move, he's a statue. He's a target dummy. So.
Well, you saw that too, and that right. His first rookie season, actually, he's not really much of a. He doesn't really move around anyways too much. That's how he had his first major injury. So you're right, Mikey. If he's back there just even slower than what he once was, who knows? He gets drilled on the side of the leg again. That's gonna suck. That's gonna really take that team back.
Yeah,
but that's on them once again.
Chris, that's rough. Burrow's the next luck. I bet on it. A really awesome player that they can't protect, and he gets beat up. The difference is, Chris, is the Bengals are trying to protect him. They went out and they spent money this offseason on some offensive lines that just hasn't clicked yet, and that's on the head coach. He's the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Burrow made their head coach look like a genius. A tier 1 quarterback will do that for an offensive guy. As there was talk in the chat with Triggs and Spin and stuff,
about
having
Allen,
tier about Allen, about Burrow, about Mahomes, about all Andy Reid was always a really good coach, but he wasn't a Hall of Famer the way he is with Mahomes.
Right. That is true, but I guess I could go both ways. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, you better win. You know what I mean? You better build an offense around if you have that type of athlete. I'm just saying, I understand the whole argument of, well, Josh Allen's here. You're supposed to be the best team on offense. That's not always the case. They still got to build around Allen. They still got to get an offensive line to protect Allen. They still need to get weapons to, wide receivers to catch the ball. There's a lot that goes to it. There still needs a coordinator to call, dial up play. I understand, obviously, he helps out, obviously, having a great quarterback like that, but you still need pieces around him to make it all connect. So I don't know if I always agree with if you have the best quarterback, you're going to always be, successful. That's not always true. There's been great quarterbacks that weren't successful because their team let them down. They didn't build around them, or they didn't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm just throwing that out there.
I just meant from an offensive coordinator standpoint, because you look at Peyton Manning. He was basically the offensive coordinator, and he got Adam Gase jobs. You have Aaron Rodgers, who was basically the offensive coordinator on the field, and he got Nate Hackett jobs.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, but we're also talking about veteran Aaron Rodgers, right? We're talking about a guy who's been in the league a long time.
Well, I mean, let's look at him before that. He had other offense coordinators that he got head coaching jobs and they failed. I mean, look at all the Kansas City Chiefs offense coordinators
it helps.
that go on.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not saying it doesn't help, but bringing another coach to the Chiefs to work with that team, maybe things don't go the way they've been going. I'm just saying. So I think it all connects, man. I think everything has to connect because you could bring a coach in that ruins everything too, right? Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Call it like you could put it this way: you could bring an offensive coordinator that comes into Buffalo and goes, "Hey, man, listen, Josh. Like, we're gonna do it my way. We're gonna do it this way. And I know you've been doing it this way, but I don't like that. And maybe things go bad, right? Maybe Josh plays bad, like." So it can go sideways, you know what I mean? So that's why I think Josh chose Ken Dorsey, because maybe there is that fear there. If like we bring an outside guy, he doesn't really know my, strengths. What if he doesn't like what I do and he wants to change this up and do this and make me uncomfortable? It could happen. I mean, like you said, Rodgers had coaches fired because they were probably trying to say, hey, I want it done this way. And he's going, I'm a fucking Super Bowl champion. No, man, I'm good, bro. I'm going to do it this fucking way. You don't like it? Hey, ownership.
Right?
This fucking guy, right? So, now, Josh doesn't have that yet. He will, and he's building. He's almost there.
Josh had enough to get Dorsey hired.
Correct, but I don't know if he's almost there to get a coach fired.
Yeah, I don't think Josh would. Anyways, it's just not his personality.
It's not, but I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, I don't.
Dunn and Triggs both disagree with my Reed comment. They both feel like he would have made the Hall of Fame without Kansas City. What I was saying was he wasn't considered one of the GOATs until he got to Kansas City. He was good. Time. He was good. And he may have gotten to the Hall of Fame because he won a ton of games and did it with a bunch of different quarterbacks, McNabb and Vic. No, but he did make he made a Super Bowl.
I know
he may have made it. But going to Kansas City, and because he wasn't even really good in Kansas City, he had Alex Smith, and they would get to the playoffs and they would lose.
Correct.
Getting a elite quarterback talent like Patrick Mahomes helped him become considered as one of the best now.
I mean, so then can we do the debate then on Belichick, right? No Tom Brady. Let's say Tom Brady never gets drafted there, or they cut him, and it's Drew Bledsoe, right? Drew Bledsoe gets hurt.
He wouldn't be one of the best. It's been Brady left. Brady left him, went to another team, won a Super Bowl. Brady proved who was the
right. But that's my point. So it's a slippery slope because no matter what, Belichick's going to be a Hall of Fame coach. He's won multiple. You know what I mean? So it's tough to say who was it. That's going to be always a classic debate. Though we all know Tom Brady's the reason. I'm not saying Belichick's not a good coach. Defensively, mastermind, dude. Listen, man, he brings it. But offensively, when they lost Brady, that team has done nothing but fail on offense. Like, they've looked terrible. And that goes to show you and your point, it goes to show you sometimes a quarterback can be, no matter who's offensive coordinator, can be a leader of that offense. You might be right in a way because look at Brady. But the differences between Brady and every other quarterback is he's one of the smartest. Like we can love.
I mean, Manning, Brady, Rodgers.
No, I'm just saying, right. Certain guys
are Hall of Famers,
right?
First ballot Hall of Famers,
right? Like for as limited he was athletically, it was crazy that he could just move out of the pocket, just enough. Right? You know what I mean? Like it was just crazy. That's just years of playing, just knowing the game, and hopefully, as Allen progresses and gets, as the seasons go on, Allen will eventually get like that. We're hoping, at least, you know what I mean, where Allen can start reading defenses like that a little bit better and stepping up in the pocket when it needs to be, or you know what I mean, like that's just that veteran been around.
As Aaron Rodgers likes to say, Peyton Manning and Brady, they all said it. It's about the reps. Understanding that you've seen everything. Josh Allen's starting to get to that point. The difference between where Josh is today and where those guys were today, those guys played more from a pocket. Josh has used his athletic ability, so he hasn't always had to go through some of those things because he was able to scramble. As he slows his running down, Josh will see more and figure out how to dissect it. Because everyone talks about how Josh's mind and how smart he is. He doesn't get credit for it yet because he always uses athletic abilities more than his mind. Once he starts tapping into that, that's going to be exciting to watch too. Because you're going to see 100%. A different version of Josh at some point. The Josh who stays in the pocket and just picks you apart and beats you with his mind, not just his physical abilities.
Correct.
I'd like him to mirror that during his peak physical abilities as well, because then you would have an unstoppable monster. But
I agree. But we credit it. By the way, Monday. I'll go back to it again. I think the one thing we can all agree on is that Dorsey has finally settled down on the Josh Allen design runs, 10 runs, 7 runs, 8 runs, 9 runs. Like he is protecting Josh for the long haul for this team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Brian Dable would have ever stopped. I'll be honest.
No, he went to the Giants and started running Daniel Jones.
And you can't. I'm telling you, man. Long run, and maybe even Josh Allen. I think probably it took him a minute. You guys know that it took him a minute to really understand the slot. Like now, you see him starting to it's starting to kind of click. I got to slide. I got to do that. I got to take off when you know what I mean. Like
stop trying to jump people, Josh.
Right. I mean, do it when. Listen, I don't mind if he does it when it's games online. We really need that yard, but no reason to do it when you're
from the 4, trying to get in the end zone.
But I just love that he's doing that. By the way, like just limiting that run and starting to get the running backs carries. That's what we need to do.
Spen, you're spot on here, brother. I think the 12 personnel has greatly impacted the amount of design runs Allen's had because we're running the ball.
Exactly.
We're handing the ball off to the running backs. And mostly it's delayed draws and sprint draws and crap like that, which I wish we'd get away from because it's just so predictable. I want to see us get under center, and I would like to see us use the two hammers earlier. However, we'll see how it happens. It's only been 3 games. We have a long season. They're testing what works, what doesn't right now. They always say the first 4 games, after the 4th game, you have an idea of what your team is, and then from there you start to bank on it. So, I'm ready for this game. Ready to squish the fish, man. I so badly want us to go in and just smash them. I don't think we will just smash them, but I want us to, just to shut everybody up.
Yeah, listen, man, this has to be a overall, just both sides of the ball have to do their job. But my key to this game, and I've been saying it, is the Bills' offense. I think the Bills' offense is what's going to dictate this game. And I know a lot of people are like, no, the defense, and I'm not saying the defense doesn't need to do a job. What I'm trying to say is if the offense does what they've been doing the last 2 weeks, which is run the ball, win time of possession, it's going to help our defense. It's going to keep them fresh, and it's also going to wear that Dolphins defense out. And they're already, I think, ranked 20. They're not the best in the league anyway. So wearing them out early by running long possessions will only favor us, right? Keeping the Dolphins on the sideline, the offense at least. That's the key to the victory, in my opinion. If we start airing it out early and just doing this fun gun stuff, it's not going to work. It's just going to backfire. Do what we've been doing, but get Murray and Harris involved a little early so Cook can get going a little earlier than later. That's what I want to see in this game, Mikey. The defense, as far as the defense goes, Mikey, they got to tackle. They have to tackle. If they do not tackle well, it's going to be a long game. And don't be out of position. If you get out of position on this team, they're going to get some chunk yards or take it to the house. Got to play sound football. Smart football, sound football. Be in the right spots, man.
Yeah. And I'm with you, Spen. I wish it was Saturday night too. I don't ever want to wish my weekend away, But man, I am so juiced for this game. I'm really surprised that it's a 1 o'clock game. Nobody picked this game as a primetime game or a spotlight game. Like everyone knew at the beginning of the year that the Dolphins and Bills were going to be good. Like we're gonna have to suffer through a Kansas City Jets, New Jersey Jets game on Sunday night. Ugh,
man,
that's gonna be a beat down. Is what that's gonna be.
It is what it is, man. I don't think the NFL expected the Dolphins to come out that hot, and I don't think and for some reason I don't think they thought what would happen. Obviously, to Aaron Rodgers would happen. And then obviously, I think they just disrespected us anyways. And I don't think maybe they thought we would be where we're at right now either, maybe. So it is what it is. 1 o'clock. Let's just handle our business and get the dub, man.
Oh, we have a Fins fan in here. They were all over Jets and Rodgers when scheduling. You know, every major outlet said this is the game everyone wants to see. The Dolphins Bills. Because the two of the best teams in football. These are
two powerhouses going at it. No doubt about it. Both listen, this is it, man. This is AFC East battle. It's back. The rivalry's back. And man, DeMar Hamlin's back. Like there's a lot going on in this game. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. And you know, Joe's right. You know, we're both clashing for the first time against really good teams, elite teams. And it's time for the first of probably 3 heavyweight fights.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think too. 100%.
Yeah, it's definitely the game of the year so far. Hopefully it lives up to the billing, you know, because there's so much to build to it. Hopefully it's not one-sided either way. If it is, I want it to be on the Bills' way.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be one-sided. I think it's going to be a close game, but once again though, time of possession, man. Also two turnovers, man. Turnover battle. If we're sloppy on offense, it could really turn on us quick because we're turning the ball over. Dolphins are going to make you pay. And you don't want to get down early on turnovers either. You know what I mean? So that's a big deal too. Turnovers. And by the way, I think we're first in turnovers right now on defense. I believe so. We're really good at forcing turnovers right now.
It helps when you have 5 in a game.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
As Spence says, Dolphins coming off the best offensive performance and the Bills coming off the best defensive performance. So it's why everyone's so excited, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
So let's hit my keys to the game. On the offensive side, the continuation of a strong O-line play. If they can give Josh time, Josh will be able to run the ball. We'll be able to, you know, I don't even need to see Josh do a bunch of pushing it downfield because I don't think Vic Fangio is gonna play that aggressive cover 0 type. I think he's gonna play the 2 shell and make us just march our way down like we've had the last few weeks. I don't think anybody believes Josh Allen will continue to just take the underneath stuff. You know, I think by the end of the year, if he continues to do it, people will get out of that shell. Like Patrick Mahomes had to prove that he could you know, just continue to take that underneath stuff before they got out of that shell.
Right.
So it's going to be one of those things. So let's just continue with the strong O-line play, run the ball, you know, take your quick passes, you know, put together 10, 12, 14 plays drives, you know, 6 to 9 minute drives, leave Miami's offense on the sidelines. I'm good with that.
Yep.
But score in the red zone. We can't be kicking field goals against Miami like we did against Washington.
Exactly.
Miami will make us pay if we do that.
Right.
Second offense, ball control. We just talked about it, the ball control piece. On defense, we're going to have to limit the big plays. One mistake changes the game, and it's a quick strike offense. You saw it early. I think it might have even been the first play. I don't know where it was at, but that crosser to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill ran the wrong route, and he said it in the NFL films. Like you heard him, and he's like, he ran across. He realized he ran it long. The safety, 2 guys jumped the guy over the middle, so he just ran behind him, and Tua found him because he had time to throw.
Right.
You can't have coverage, you know, coverage bust against this team. They'll eat us up.
No, absolutely not. I think that the smart play, at least, you know, for the Buffalo Bills defenses, to kind of mimic, and I said this on Monday, mimic the Patriots week 2 game against the Dolphins. And by the way, we've done this, by the way, to the Dolphins. It's not even mimicking them because we actually, under Frazier, we played the same way. So we didn't give up the deep stuff for the most part. A couple to Waddle, but that was because the quarterback had forever to throw. But
well, not only that, but we had bad safety play at that time. We had Hamlin and Johnson.
But we've held Hill in check as a Dolphin, at least, not a Chief, but as a Dolphin, because we didn't give him the deep stuff. But that bend don't break, I don't mind, which that means they're going to have a drive, and then you're going to give them a red zone. That's where the Patriots locked up the Dolphins for the most part. And then that second half, when their offensive line's starting to get beat up a little bit, you saw the Patriots start to bring a little bit more heat. That's kind of where I want the Buffalo Bills defense to be in this game. So kind of start off a little bit bend don't break, and then kind of get a little bit more aggressive as the game goes on, while that offensive line is starting to get a little bit beat up. That's what I want to see, but who knows? I don't know if McDermott, goes quick on the aggressive. I don't think that would be smart. Tua gets the ball out. I think the quickest in the NFL, 2.3, I think 2.7,
2.1.
Something like that. Either way, he's getting out the ball real quick, and he's letting his playmakers do the rest. And the Bills just need to tackle. You got to tackle.
Yeah. Then another one, run game. They're explosive. They have 2 explosive running backs. You have to tackle.
Fast.
Stay in your lanes, be disciplined, and tackle. The Broncos had 26 missed tackles. 26.
Yeah, that's not like we're bad sometimes at tackling, but we're not that bad. Yeah. And I gotta say too, Mostert, he did a number on us last season. He had a really good game against us. So that's something we cannot afford to happen. Big chunk runs, because they will take it to the house. Both those guys are like track stars. Tackle, be in the right position, man. That's it. Communication.
Triggs is asking the Dolphins fan that's in here, about X. I'm interested to hear what his comment is. How has he looked? I know he had a big pick in week 1, but I haven't heard it. I haven't seen him on any highlights since. So I'm wondering how he's looking.
He's damn good. Healthy.
When he's right, he's one of the best cover corners in football.
Correct.
X. He said X is going to safety soon. Okay, that kind of tells you what you need to know. Honestly, I think he'd be a great transition to safety because he's such a playmaker.
I know they're starting to call hold. He's getting called for holding a lot more this season so far that I believe I saw.
Okay.
So who knows what that's about, but I know he was getting away with it early in his career, and I guess now they're starting to flag him a little bit more.
What Ramsey do you get? I guess that's the real question. Do you get the Jacksonville Ramsey or do you get the Rams Ramsey? Because in LA he struggled against the Bills every time we played him.
Yeah,
Stephon would eat his lunch.
Yeah. Go back, look at the week 1 game of 2022.
Yeah,
Ramsey and Diggs. It wasn't pretty for Ramsey.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. With another great cornerback, X is able to gamble and do different things, and he tries to be the boss.
That is true.
So you're absolutely right. I could see why he would be like that. Yes, and Ramsey is on IR. I think he's supposed to be back in December. They're hoping.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah. So then my last one, special teams. Tyler Bass, Sam Martin, continue doing your things.
Yep.
Strong kicking game. And then for my coaches, make adjustments. Just because you come in with a game plan doesn't mean that has to stay the game plan. Read what's going on the field and make your adjustments. I've seen McDermott do it a lot this year, and I love it. I need to see more of it on the offensive side of the ball. Make creative adjustments.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. You got to if it's not working, man, don't just keep going with the game plan. Switch it up. Don't force it. Don't force it. Switch it up. And to credit him, he has switched it up a few times so far early in the season on a couple of things. He did get the running game going in that second week. He got Harris, he got Murray in there when Cook was kind of struggling early on. So that was good to see. But yeah, you're right. You got to do some adjustments there. if needed. If the game plan's working, great.
McGenius will be adjusting. You'll have to adjust and readjust. Yeah, I love your head coach. He looks so odd, but man, he's so smart. He looks so odd.
He's a good OC. He's a good play caller, man.
He's he's so smart.
Yeah,
so smart.
Offensively, man, he knows his stuff, and he's a player's coach too. They seem to all love him, which is really good. You know,
like did you see the NFL clip where he was dogging on Tua's high school tape and said that his form was trash? Like they showed it. No, like he was telling Tua this story about how he Googled him on YouTube and saw some of his high school tape. He's like, "Man, you were trash."
That's funny. No, I didn't see that. That is funny though.
Yeah, you know, I didn't want a first-year head coach and didn't want one that called his own plays. I love being wrong. That's the best way to be, Joe, is to be wrong. Like that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, eating your own crow, but yet it worked out like a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing worse than eating crow and for a bad thing though.
Yeah.
Like, man, this guy's gonna be the man first round pick.
Well, you were with McDermott, remember when we were talking about this? You were not a big fan of. You're like, who the hell is this guy? He was saying all the same crap I always hear. I don't want to hear that crap.
yeah, because but you know, come on, as Buffalo Bills fans, we all know it in the chat. How many coaches do we? And Dolphin fan, I'm sure he's joking. This Joe hooked up joking. Agree. When you're that bad for so long, right? After losing a Hall of Fame coach, like they lost Shula, we lost Marv Levy. And then you start going through these list of coaches, and every coach, no matter what, comes in and says the same old crap, right? We're going to get this team back on track. It's a winning culture here. We're going to get the right guys in the locker room. Right. It's the same. So I'm like, okay, here comes Sean McDermott. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Never heard of him. Right. Like he's not a big name. He's not. And yeah, it is what it is, you know, and I'm happy that I was wrong.
Yeah, that's funny that his best friend's like, yeah, he's like just a quirky dude, but he is, and he's funny. Like he's so relatable. I hate it. I hate that I like him. I don't want to like any Dolphins at all. I want to hate them all.
Yeah.
I like him. Mike McDaniel. I like that. I think he's funny. Oh, Dick Geron. Oh, done. No,
he was so bad.
The Rex Ryan.
There's been a bunch. There's been a bunch.
I was like, at least we'll get a fun press conference, right? Isn't that weird that the bad teams are like, at least we have an entertaining head coach that'll make our press conferences fun.
Like I hated Greg Williams. Freaking hated him. He was so bad, bro.
Different room answer. Every single one of them, they say the same thing. Sean proved it. Yeah, the difference is he backed it up, which was nice.
Like Rex Ryan was like, I loved his press conference. Like I was like hyped up. Like we're gonna get this. We're going to the playoffs, and I'm like, oh shit! Like that's a pretty confident dude. And I knew he always that, Mikey. With Rex Ryan, like he would always give you what you wanted to hear. It's just about delivering it. But I won't lie. When we signed Rex Ryan, I was like, all right, maybe, he wasn't a bad coach with the Jets. Like, no matter what people say, I don't think he got that team to a championship, AFC championship a few times, and they probably shouldn't have gone. That offense was not that good.
Mm-hmm.
But when he came here, I was like, you know what? Maybe he'll bring but then once the first season ended and he brought his brother here, I'm like, here you go.
Yeah.
He was all downhill from there.
No spin. You don't need to give us a room. I was a fan of McDaniel when he was the offensive coordinator in San Francisco. I live in California. Like it's 49ers everything. And I live in Northern California at that. So it's 49ers everything around me. So I knew of him for a long time. But no, we're good. I don't like him like that. I wonder if we move Kyrie Elam free safety. I think that'd be the right move. I don't think we do. I don't.
Chris, the Bills truck. Yeah, I remember the media showing him leave after we fire him in his Bills truck, leaving the stadium. I'm like, oh, there goes Rex. I wonder what he did with that truck. If he just like unwrapped it or just
unwrapped it. Just unwrapped it.
So,
yeah. They just put a wrap on it. Yeah,
throw that shit out. Fire
right.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah. Drool coming out of my mouth over him. Stop it. All right, Tommy. It's that time of the show, brother. Score predictions.
Prediction time.
By the way, you again were the closest. You had it 35.
I've been freaking nailing them.
Although you were really wrong on how many they would score. We both were.
I said 13.
No, that was when it was a lower scoring game. When it was a high, when you had the 35, it was 35. What was it? 35.
No, I said 35.
No,
35.
you didn't.
13?
I had it written down.
No? All right.
You want me to go back and get it?
Yeah. I'm curious. I thought because I had 2 scores. One if it was really bad rain.
You had 35, 16, 24.
Oh,
10.
Okay.
20, and I had 27, 16, and 23, 16.
Okay. So we were both kind of close.
I always give the I always think they're going to score on us. I'll never call for a huge
This is a tough one for me to score.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, because I got to think about this.
I have it 37-34 Buffalo.
Ooh, close. God damn.
I think it's going to be close, and I believe 30s. It's going to be an offensive game. I really do.
What's the weather like, guys? Anybody pull? Can you pull?
It's supposed to be clear. It's supposed to be clear, like
clear.
Perfect.
Mid 60s, late 60s, high 60s, mid
low high 60s, low 70s. Not real breezy. It's supposed to be like a perfect day in Buffalo.
Because here's the deal, and this is where this is where I'm a little torn because on my prediction, Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they do what I want them to do,
73-71,
that would be unbelievable. But no, if they do what I want them to do, Mikey, it won't be a high scoring game because the Bills will hold time of possession like long drives. So it will really kill that clock out for a high scoring game, right? So I'm kind of torn on that with the high scoring. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to go 35-27 Buffalo. 35-27. And that's a lot of points given up for the defense, but it is what it is. It's a high-powered offense. I ain't mad at it.
They're gonna break free at one point.
It's a home game. Yeah.
You're not shutting them out.
That's a close game. I'm not trying to discard what they've done, but 27. Listen, the Patriots held them to 24 points. Okay, we're a better defense than the Patriots. We're at home. I'm giving them more than the Patriots. So 27, I think 35-27 is a fair score. So I'm going to stick with that.
All right. I'm waiting for hooked up Joe to tell me what his score is outside of 73-71. He wants that record, man. He wants that record.
That would be unbelievable, man. Though that's never going to
38-17. Dunn says 75 degrees. Yeah, it's supposed to be a really nice day.
Okay. All right.
Oh, sorry, that was the temp. At the start of the at the end of the game.
Okay.
That's funny. 73-71. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's supposed to be a beautiful day. Beautiful day in Buffalo. All
right.
So, he says it's gonna be 31-16. Okay. You think we're only gonna score 16 on your defense? Okay.
Your defense is I think 21st in the NFL right now. You're giving up quite a few points. But hey, you never know. I don't know.
Denver deserved to get that record broken on them. They did. They played like ass.
Yeah, Denver was so I told you that was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. Terrible.
I have to tell you the same thing I tell my peeps. That's what I've been saying. Okay, hey. 27-24. DG comes in with 27-24.
That's
all
close,
right.
Yeah.
34-20. Triggs. Love it.
Damn.
I love it.
Right.
I want it to go your way, Tommy. I do. I want us to take the slow, methodical. But something tells me that, Tyreek's going to get loose one time.
Gonna have to start chucking.
And Josh is going to have to put on the cape and go out and do what Josh does.
All right. And it may be a game. It may be a game where Josh needs to play hero ball, and I'm okay with that as long as he plays smart hero ball at least. Like play hero ball when it's needed, I guess, in the game. Don't do it in the second quarter. Chuck the ball downfield.
Well, understand your opponent. Understand the big picture. If you have Zach Wilson on the other sideline complaining against you, you don't need to throw it 40 yards downfield to try.
Yeah,
take the sack, punt the ball. You know, if you have Tyreek and the Dolphins offense on the other side from you, and you need to try to make a play, okay, I can live with that.
Right.
Just understand your situation.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
If you have Mahomes or one of those guys, it's gonna be so much fun. By the way, Hooked Up Joe, we will be here right after the game. Come back, win or lose.
Yeah, don't matter. Yep, we're here.
Yep, right after the game. All right, Tommy, what's on tap?
All right, so man, tomorrow's gonna be epic. So first, for Saturday is at 2:00 is the Fantasy Kingdom with Mikey and Howie. To go over start or sit, guys, and just shoot the shit with you guys, fantasy football nerds out there. And then at 6:00, AFC East Shakedown. That's where you guys want to be, right here, 6:00. I got everybody. I got Curtis from Ace Per Head. He's representing the Dolphins. I got Trevor and Juan, Sports Dynasty, to represent the Patriots. And then I got the Jedi Kev, who represents the Jets. And then, of course, me representing the Buffalo Bills. It's a great show, great podcast. It's going to be very interesting. I think Captain D is also joining us tomorrow. So you want to watch that because that's going to be a really good show. And then on Sunday, we're going to be live at 4:00 right after. Win or lose, we'll be here. And then that's it. And then next week, we do it all over.
Did you hit Fantasy Kingdom tomorrow?
I did. 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
First thing I saw.
I read Hooked Up Joe's comment. That made me laugh.
Good.
He's like, no disrespect to your D, it's amazing. I just think Wilson will come up behind Josh and whisper, pinchy. It's more like twisty. It's more like twisty.
I'm gonna tell you. So speaking of that, Hooked Up Joe, I think you will see some scrimmages tomorrow.
Some scuffles.
Some scuffles. And yeah, I would be surprised if there isn't a scuffle or two. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Dolphins probably push Allen a little bit more harder down the, out of bounds or something stupid like that. Same with them. Listen, I got to say this too real quick about the Dolphins. They're being very, very, very smart to start the season with how they're playing, using Tua. They're getting the ball out quick. They're protecting him big time. And you have to, because, and I'm not trying to knock you guys Tua, but Tua has been a problem since high school with injuries, and he's been a problem since college in the NFL. Clearly, if you hit the dude, I'm just saying, it is a big chance that it could mess him up for the game or weeks. And the Dolphins are finding a way to go, hey, we know what the deal is here. Let's just get the ball out quick, and this way no one could touch you. But there's going to be a time in games, and you saw it against the Patriots, where he started to get hit because things weren't going as planned, and he was holding the ball a little bit longer than the 2 whatever seconds he's getting rid of the ball, and that could be dangerous. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see if the Dolphins, do that if things get close, is what I'm saying. Where he may have to hold the ball a little bit longer, because he didn't need to hold the ball long against the Broncos. They were giving him everything. Everything
free
was
reign.
Wide open.
Yeah, free reign.
Free reign. So
how does Tyreek run that wide open? The best guy on the field.
I have no idea.
How do you let him run?
You know who else drives me nuts? And there's a guy, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Like when teams just like Kelsey, and we've done it, we're guilty of it. Why the fuck, bro? Mikey, I get so pissed off. Listen, I can understand if it's Tyler Kroft wide open. Fine. It's fucking Tyler Kroft, right? He's not gonna, whatever. But fucking, bro, the best player on the team, wide open. How do you not
run the wrong
Your
play?
attention should be on that dude the whole fucking time. It's crazy, man.
And actually, yeah, Joe, he ran the wrong play. It's why he was so wide open. He ran to green grass, and your line gave him so much time because there was no pressure on Tua at all, that he could just run to green grass. And I guess, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Just run whatever route. That's what Kelsey does. Mahomes talks about it all the time. Kelsey just runs whatever route he wants and finds an opening and sits down. And Mahomes finds him because he has time to throw the ball. And it's just like, it's so frustrating. So I think it's going to come down to our line getting pressure on Tua. He's been hit just a handful of times this year. He's only been sacked twice and actually hit a handful of times.
I want to see their hands up too. Swat them passes down. Tua's I think he's about 6 foot. I could be wrong, or slightly under 6 foot. Get up there, smack the hit the balls down, man. Get some tip passes there. By the way, tip passes lead to interceptions. It's happened. It happened in week 2 with Rousseau getting that pick off a tip pass. So you don't necessarily need a sack Tua, but pressure is key. Good pressure. And by the way, I think Ed Oliver right now is second in the league in pressure. Third. Okay. Third in the league in pressure. So it's great. Great. Get in his face. Get your hands up. Make him know you're there. And that's he's 6'1". I think he's 6 foot. They always lie a little bit, by the way, on those songs. I think it's 6 foot. I don't think it's 6'1", but I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe with cleats on. Either way, he's a shorter quarterback. He's not Russell Wilson or anything, but he's pretty short.
Yep. So, all right, Tommy. Oh God, it's so I can't. I don't want to wish my weekend away, but man, I cannot wait for this game. It's gonna be so much fun.
Dude, I can't wait, man. It's just like it's my most hated team. I know yours is the Patriots. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. I just can't. I don't hate the Patriots like I do the Dolphins because they kicked their ass. So there's nothing really to.
I didn't grow up in Miami either. I didn't grow up in Miami.
Oh man, it was
during
brutal.
the Bills. I grew up in Northern California during the Bills' heyday.
That is true, right?
That rivalry. So I don't have that same hate. I didn't hear those fans. Like it's different for you. Growing up in enemy territory, made that more. Like mine, I just hated them because they kicked our ass every year. And I was sick of seeing Brady and Belichick.
Yeah, it's the same shit every time.
Yeah, being a remote fan of the team, living on the other side of the country, every time they would ruin my Sunday because they always play 10 o'clock in the morning because there's never prime time with them, and they would ruin my freaking Sunday every freaking year, and it pissed me off.
Yeah, except for maybe 1 or 2 occasions where.
And that was like winning the Super Bowl for me.
It was unbelievable, man. But man, Dolphins, I can't stand them. All right, well, guys, this was a fun show. Had a great time. We will be back. Like I said, Mikey will be back tomorrow at 2 for the Fantasy Kingdom. I'll be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock for AFC Shakedown. And then me and Mikey will be back Sunday right after the Bills beat the Dolphins. Hopefully, and I know we will. I have confidence in my Buffalo Bills. So we'll see you guys. Me and Mikey will see you guys Sunday. So with that being said, Bills Mafia, we love you. And as always, go Bills. We're out of here. Peace.
And look at him go. He could go all the way. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.